Austria. I'm going to be your main commentator, LR Delta, and I'm here with VER Tom Mo. Welcome, Tom.
Hi guys, it's really exciting to be back here, really excited to be in the comms box again with you. And as you can see from what's on your screens, it is a wet qualifying, so it's definitely going to spice up the order. We saw absolute chaos last week round Singapore. It was fantastic race to commentate over, and I'm sure fantastic to drive in as well. A bit of track information for tonight: the 36 laps of Austria, 10 corners, 3 left, 7 right, and the C4, C3 and C2 tries, if it does dry up, of course. Mediums are about 0.8 slower and hards are about 1.2. So it's interesting, the fact that hards are 1.2 slower, because that means we saw interesting strategy in F9, sorry, from Track Formula, where he went on to the hards and it worked perfectly for him, the soft hards. So could we see any drivers do that tonight, do you think, Delta?
Absolutely, I do know a man in F1 and he is planning on that strategy. So if these, well, since it's obviously a wet, like not a proper wet, but it's intermediate, so you could really class it as a wet. But yeah, absolutely, the strategies will be very, very, very interesting, considering now that no one will be using their dry tires. Maybe if it does start to dry up in the near end of the quality and someone can get a good lap in, just as it's at the right moment at the right time for it to dry up, then I don't see why not. The strategy might be putting the people outside the top 10 a little bit, like, if you go what I mean, it'll be a bit interesting to see, because the people outside the top 10 won't have that advantage of the alternate strategy. But then again, the alternate strategy isn't the best around here. So yeah, I think a soft hard might just be the way for the drivers here. I'm just turning off my notifications. I completely forgot about that. It's annoying. Don't want to see a black box on the stream. But yeah, absolutely, it'll be a soft hard strategy, I think, for this race. But I'm not too sure about the top 10 guys, like outside.
Yeah, it'd really be interesting to see what the guys outside top 10 do as Ace starts this lap. Obviously, the man leading the championship, LR Ace, got a second place around the first round Bahrain short, won the race round Austria last week in convincing fashion. He capitalised on a few mistakes and got himself the result he so dearly wanted, LR Ace. Can he replicate that tonight, do you think, Delta?
Well, absolutely. Obviously, I'm rooting for him to do the best that he can always do. Same team, I commentate over his team and events. So, obviously, I wish the best for Ace. Obviously, in the commentary box, if you guys remember last week, he did say that he wanted to get that exact same result. Because, obviously, once you start noticing that you're getting these consistent results week in, week out, you want to just keep seeing how long you can last that role for. But, throughout the season, obviously, we're 3 runs in, so we've still got, like, tons more runs. We've got 10 runs of just racing. So, if Ace can keep up this momentum that he's doing, even in both conditions, the wet and the dry, we could be crowning a champion very early if he keeps on getting these consistent podiums. We know everyone who gets on the podium kind of messes up. That could help him a lot. But the wet, though, that's a challenge for these drivers, to say the least. Especially F7, you've got the no traction, you've got the no ABS, so it's going to be much more trickier to get with traction on the car. But he's going to set a 1:11.8. Not too sure about what the wet pace is around this track, so I've never done a high enough tier to see what the rapid times are. But JML Panda for 1:12.4, followed with his teammate Bueno with a 1:12.6.
Oh.
So they're very close. But Hayden though and Russell, so Ace actually got his time almost demolished there by MRL Russell in the McLaren, a 1:11.1, and Hyperlin with a 1:11.4. Terresimo for 1:12.3, Vero for 1:12.4, Jordy with 1:30. So yeah, there might have been a little bit of difficulty with Jordy, unless that is just the pace. But what are your thoughts on that pole lap? Do you know if that's going to be beaten, Tom? Because I'm not too familiar. I know obviously like, 3s, 4s and 5s and all that stuff are really good in the dry, but like for the wet. Oh, who's that? There's a wet.
Oh, it's Bueno. The Mercedes driver's beached. He's
Beached.
beached it in sector 2. He's in the gravel, and he's going to have to rejoin the track with the currently on a 12.6. That is the first driver we have seen lose the car so far. So, like we were saying with Russell, though, he is a reserve, so it'd be interesting to see. He's probably got that no pressure, you know. We were talking before about Ace, and, you know, Ace he's now established himself as one of the main guys, so will he be feeling pressure? Absolutely, of course you would. It's this pinnacle of league racing. You will feel pressure if you're at the top of the standings, but can the likes of Old Wayne, who had not a disappointing race on Singapore, but he only got the 6 points, so he is in second place in drivers at the minute behind Ace. Could we see him battle it all the way with Ace tonight? Yet to set a lap, of course. Old Wine still in the pit, so he's probably feeling confident that he's not done. But I've heard Joe and I've looked up, and Hyper LN has set a 1:11.081. That's a great lap for the AlphaTauri driver. So can anyone match that, do you think, Delta?
Well, one thing to say for sure is that it's the reserves that are first and second right now, Tom. It's the reserves that are first and second right now, which is well weird to see. Obviously, fair play, but Ace is going to be a bit confused about that. That these two people have just came in and then boom, they've got the pole position. But obviously, it looks like it's going to dry up a little bit. But I'm not too sure if it will dry up in time for the drivers to stick on dry tires. I'm not too sure, but I'm just making sure the stream is good. But is there anyone that was on the lap? I know that Panos was 2 tenths up, so he set a 1:12.2 right behind his teammate by very, very close. But Lewis McWilliams says Ola. I'm guessing that's one of the drivers in the thing, because there is a Scottish man in this thing. I'm going to assume that's Geordie. But what do you think we can see for this race, Tom? What do you think these races are going to provide?
I think we can always expect chaos coming into races, but I'm not sure how much. We saw in F9 qualifying actually doesn't affect the race that much, because people during the race round here is always so close. Every Austria race I've ever been a part of, the race end is so dramatic because you see drivers on alternate strategies battling it out with each other. Will we see soft hard tonight? That's the debate, really, I'd say. Will we see soft hard, soft mediums? What will the drivers choose to do? Because in F9, notably, a lot of drivers went to soft medium. Their tyres punctured, blistered, chaos it was. So the safe bet, soft hard as well, and they will come into their prime later on in the race, of course. But Thick has actually jumped LR Ace. Ace has set 2 valid laps now, but was still just, over 3 tenths away from that pole position.
Russell is improving. He's improving. Sorry for interrupting there, but he's improving even more. Russell, he's done 4 laps on the. Oh, I see why he's improving all this. Is because gradually, lap after lap after lap, you don't run out of ERS. If he's got his fuel maxed up to the brim, to the point that he's going to still have enough to do a couple laps, them inter laps are going to get quicker and quicker because the tire temp's going to get cooler, like not cooler but warmer. Meanwhile, if you just do 1 lap like LRAce does, obviously he's done more, but he's just kept coming out in the pits. He's going to be putting his temperatures down every time he comes back in. But Russell, though, he's improving even though he's done like 4 laps. So you can see where he's finding all his time is because the inters are starting to get up to temperature. So he's starting to find more grip on the track and also more time. So I was wondering, because he found 1.5 tenths on the double left corner. He lost a little bit on the rear, but there's a return. That's in turn 1.
Carlos has hit the ball in turn 1. He must have taken it too sharply, gone to take too much curb and gone flying into the wall. So that's Carlos out of qualifying, and we can firmly now say Carlos will not be starting anywhere above P15. The driver has only set a 12.7, so that is him out of qualifying. And also to note on those inters and why the lap times we can expect to see it get a lot quicker is the dry line starting to form as the drivers clear water for each other. That dry line will just, in the track temps, the traffic evolution around here, the track will just grip up, so there's more grip available. So that will mean the drivers' times will just plummet down. We may see more and more drivers enter the 110s. With 8 minutes left, Russell, the reserve, still on that provisional pole with a 110.8. The championship leader is about 8 tenths behind and on an outlap though. So could we see Ace now improve the driver? So strong last week on Singapore. I'm sure he'd agree with me with that, and deservedly winner. But can he replicate that tonight? It's definitely going to be a really tough ask.
Absolutely, there will be a lot of pressure because, well, it hasn't been a win streak. I'm not too sure if he has won. I'm not too sure. Obviously, I haven't been tuning into the standings that much, but I will do in a few minutes after the qualifying just to get a little bit more info. But yeah, obviously there's going to be a lot of pressure for Ace. Well, he's leading it and he's been getting these consistent podium finish-ins in just every top 5 finish this race. Obviously, it's 3 rounds in, so obviously we can't just assume, oh yeah, he's won the championship, but we can tell you one thing, he has got the championship material to win this. Obviously still he cannot count out the rest of the drivers because different weeks there'll be a different driver crowned as a new winner because some tracks aren't people's best tracks, and there's some tracks that some people do well later in the season. So 3 rounds in, it's looking like Ace is the one to watch for this season, but it can very, very quickly change though later in the races.
Definitely. I mean, Ace
Morgan.
is 1/10 up in the first sector. What's happened there with Morgan?
He was 4/10 up. He was 4/10 up when he lost it. He can't get it round. He's trying not to get
Final corner.
Yeah,
is he just tried? Is he tried to put his foot down too early? I'm guessing.
the McLaren in the background did it as well. Who's that? That's Soul. Oh, Soul's in the grass now. So they went off that dry line and they just got a lot of like. What's the best way to say it? Because I was going to say sogginess, but that's not the right word. They went onto that wrong part of the track, the more wet part of the track. Obviously, the whole track is wet, but he went off that dry line that's been getting formed later in the races. You can see it right there on board with Soul. You can just see it. It's that really, really black kind of line there. That's when the line is starting to dry up. But if you go off that and you apply the power in that big puddle, you're just going to lose it completely. But
yeah,
that be
that is definitely. I don't know, because I was on board with Ace that whole lap, and it was only a 1:11.1. So he still is not dipping into the 110s, Ace. So could we see the championship leader struggle? Of course, his main rival has actually jumped him and is improving here by nearly a tenth. Old Wine, the Williams driver, who didn't have a great result around Singapore. Fantastic though in round 1. Probably going to push Ace really hard this way, you'd expect, of course. I mean, every driver. That's what I love about this team. You can never find a clear, winner or before the race. It's so unpredictable because, like you were saying, some tracks people might just be really strong, or some people may just struggle at some tracks. So it's all about just being consistent over the course of the season. That's what wins you championships. It is obviously the pace matched with the what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? Consistency. There we go. As I tried to find my words. It's the pace match with the consistency. That is what champions are made of. And 3 rounds in, it's impossible to say who the favourite is, of course. I mean, it's too early to call, but Old Wine is about to finish his lap here. It did look strong. Will he improve? He will indeed. Puts himself up in... he hasn't actually put himself up, but
he's just improved the time much more.
Into 3rd place. Still behind the 2 reserves, though. So like we're talking about there, they're not feeling the pressure, I'm guessing. They're feeling free and without any change, you'd argue.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, different track than Singapore. Singapore is, well, to the least, it's just walls. It's an amazing track to commentate over, but you can't really imagine it's an enjoyable track for the drivers. Obviously, it's an amazing atmosphere as a commentator because you're just getting all these cool camera angles and all that stuff. But for the drivers, it's just a really, really tight track. You're not getting enough room to really push the car, abuse the limits and all that stuff. But with this track, it's just all about... You could say this is just a fun because it's such a short track. In the dry, it's averaging to like 1 minute 5 seconds or 6 seconds, depending on if you're just not the best in all lap pacer on this track. But yeah, you'll be able to see much more battles. But from last week, we had a lot of drama. We had the drama of the AlphaTauris. Both of them were the front runners. Now they've got reserves filling into them. One of the AlphaTauris leaving the league, and then the other one not being here. So I think the AlphaTauris might have been under a little bit of stress, though, if you think about it, because, well, the first round you weren't there, Tom, but they were the front runners, and both of them made mistakes in round 1, and then following up to round 2. Well, you were there, and we don't even need to talk about what happened to them, because you saw it as well. They just looked like they got under the pressure. They started getting a little bit worried because they were so close to each other that they didn't want to collide and just... It was one after the other. Marcus spun when he was in the lead onto the last corner and then got tons of penalties. Then Carson lost, I think it was in the middle sector, and got damage. So, can we see that type of drama this week, though? It's definitely not like Singapore, this track. Like I said, more open, so this is going to be very, very interesting.
You can definitely expect to see that. I would expect to see that from these drivers anyway, around any track, that constant drama, but round here, of course. And it has crucially stopped raining. The raindrops have stopped falling. So, will we see drivers now? Do they think it's dry enough? Will they gamble? It's going to be tough to say because the man that got a podium last week is currently on a lap, Stroh. Down in 11th, though, at the minute. Will he improve? He's still... He's on those inters. I think it is still way too wet, but with 2 minutes left, and obviously with the short lap times, people may, in the last few, the dying embers of qualifying, dash out the pits, like a, as fast as they can, and sprint round and start their lap to try and get on provisional pole. Russell still with that 1:10.8 pole time at the minute to beat. Can we see Stroh's 4 tenths up now, looking really strong? Can he battle Russell for it? Because the track is getting so dry now. The wet has dispersed and the dry has come through. So Stroh now crossing the line. The AlphaTauri driver now, of course, who is back this week. He's nearly lost it, in fact, and he puts him 4th. But that half spin actually can save it fantastically. But
it's dry.
That will cost him mental amounts of time. DRS has been enabled.
Geordie's went out at the best moment possible, but then again, that means that if every driver comes all in sync, whoever the last driver is going to have the best version of the track possible. As you can see, the pit lane looking very busy now. Everyone who's coming in are now going to have to get back out ASAP, because if they don't get a lap in, they're going to be seeing themselves outside the top 10. But a couple of drivers are not laps. It looks like JML Panda and Sarome about to start his lap, so he's actually the first driver to set his lap, I think, in the wet. Sorry, in the dry, actually. Apologies. So he's on turn 1, so we'll 100% see a lot of time, but he's picking up a little bit of slipstream from the Mercedes driver there. Very smart there. That was from GML Bueno. So obviously slipstream's not allowed, but if you can see a guy, it looks like he's gone a bit too quick for letting you pass, you can abuse that and get the slipstream, but then obviously you need to move away again. But I can see this being pole position, obviously, because it is in the dry, but now we've got 50 seconds left. Can everyone get back out on track as soon as possible just to get that one lap in? But what do you think the time's going to be now, Tom, compared to the wet? So it's going to be like a good 5 seconds quicker, but what do you think the pole lap is going to be if the drivers can get a dry lap set on the board?
I think we can expect the times to be... I'm not quite sure, actually. We'll see what Sarome does here, and then we can make it after. Because he is struggling, in fact, to control the car, but you'd expect that. It's going to obviously stick it on provisional pole, but will we see drivers towards the 106s, 105s, or will they still be in the 107s, 108s? It's going to be interesting. As Sarome sets a 108.5, I think it was Panda, the next off runner. He's in the second sector at the minute. No, he's not. He's just entered the second sector.
It's Geordie.
It's Geordie. Where is he at the minute?
I honestly cannot tell, because they're still saying enters. Like, oh no, here we go. Here we go.
Chaos. Look at the queue there is in sector 3. Look at the map. All the drivers.
They're not going to be able to make it.
It's going to be Monza 2019 all over again.
Oh, they're not going to be able to make it. Some aren't going to make it to the checkered flag. Oh, what is going on? Look at turn 1.
Sets his time. Look at them go! The two McLarens are next to each other. They're going to be careful here, because, like we say in the AlphaTauris, that their downfall was them trying to be cautious
and
on
they're
each
giving
other.
each other slipstream, and it's inevitable because they don't mean to. So they've gained like a second on the exits. Oh, this is not good.
This is not good indeed. Chaos. I thought we were going to see it in the race, but we're seeing it at the end of qualifying here. The McLarens may get in big trouble here. Obviously, Russell is getting that ridiculous amount of slipstream from his teammates, so out in front. I think this is just harsh, because you could also argue that the racing point behind Russell is also getting that slipstream. So will we see, if we see Russell on pole, this will just be a massive talking point, I think, or the racing point of Sayaka. If we see either of them on pole, this will be absolutely chaos. And Sol's back to cross the line now. Time to beat is a 105.1 set by Sarome. So as we step into the 104, so Bueno. Here we go. Sol set to 103.9. Russell's on pole. Russell's provisional pole. If that stands,
It's been beaten again.
A 3.1. What a lap for the AlphaTauri driver.
What?
Ace. An old one's got out-qualified Ace.
What's happening?
Old one sticks it in second place ahead of Ace. Oh my word. What an end to the qualifying that was.
Someone said Panda on top. Well, it's completely different from that. Everyone got their fast laps in, but you have to feel bad for Fick and Stroll. Stroll was on his out lap, just coming out the pits, and he stuck on the soft. He was getting ready, and then just timer went down. But yeah, we had the timing glitch. But it's not going to be good for the drivers like Fick, Panos, Hardy, and Jax. Sorry, Tiramisu, and AMS and Carlos. But obviously, yeah, this might be professional qualifying, like people are saying about the slipstream. But yeah, the top three, I'll read you out them. It's just Vapor, Hyperlin, getting a 103.1, absolutely amazing. SKR Oldwine and LR Ace Emerald Russell. So the top 4 already into the top 4 of 103s, which is absolutely rapid. You can just see that a lot of slipstreams providing that. What was the pole time for F9?
F9, it was a 2.6, but that was in a full dry qualifying.
Very interesting, but I've got a full dry race, it looks like. So a little bit boring, but then again, obviously, if it was race, obviously we could expect a lot of carnage in turn 1. But remember, guys, just because it's dry, do not send it down turn 1, because it's still a really scary corner. It's the one thing you never want to do, is send it down the inside on turn 1, because that inside curb is basically death. You touch that and you apply the power, especially on no traction. It's going to be a much more tricky corner to get to grips with without going too wide or going too wide or too tight. It's just, I don't know what my overall thoughts about this track are. Tom, what's your thoughts on this track, like overall?
We can expect to see chaos, that's for sure. A variety in strategy, I expect. We can see undercuts, overcuts being attempted. It's what we saw in every PSGL race around here so far. The variation in strategy is immense. The alternate strategy isn't too much quicker, but it can give you an advantage on the tyres. As we see the predicted strategy there, but we see more drivers opt for the hards, though. That is going to be interesting to watch, certainly.
Absolutely. So, as I said, the top 10, we're going to be sticking on the soft, but I'm not too sure. The alternate strategy guys that said the top 10 started in 11th, but Panos, he's done a very good strategy, because yes, the mediums are good because you're going to get an overcut on them, but by the time them drivers stick on the hards off the soft, because you want to try get the softs maybe lap 15 is my guess. Lap 15, maybe it'll start building up a little bit closer and you'll have to pit earlier due to like tire wear if you're behind someone's DRS or slipstream lap after lap and you're locking up. That's also another main thing about this tier, is that it's not like F9 or F10 or F11 or F12, because ABS is restricted here, so the more wear it's going to be getting put into is going to be the fronts, and the fronts are more of the more important tires. Also the rear as well, you don't want to apply the power too much to the point that you're building up the slide at the rear end. And the front is the most important one, so I think 15 to 16 laps on the soft and then hards the whole way. But the mediums though, that's one I'm not too sure about. I'm really not sure.
Yeah, if you're going to go on the medium tyres, you're going to have to make those softs last. So could we see people going later on the first stint to go on the mediums in the second stint, do you reckon?
Yeah, potentially, but if a safety car comes out, the mediums guys will be saved, because that means they can go to extend their tyres even more. But the hards though, you do not want to touch them off the first stint, because that is the tyre that's the most important about doing well in this race. But Ross says it's soft, medium, or medium soft. I'm not too sure about medium soft, but yeah, maybe. But I'm just thinking soft hards, or medium soft medium. I'm not too sure, but we'll see what these drivers do though. But I'll let you do the lights again, Tom.
Alright, here we go. 19 drivers line up to compete in the third round of F7. Here we go. 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5 red lights, and oh no, we had timing glitch. No, we have to wait for the revs. Here we go. They are revving their car now. Vapor, Hyperlane, ease away we go for the third round. Seems like a really good start for the Ace here. He's going to hook it around the outside of Old Wine. Will he go very well? Ace on the outside of Old Wine, and there's contact. There's contact.
Has he lost it? No, he hasn't.
It's absolute chaos. Look now, Saviaka's down the inside of Ivo. Russell past Ace as well, so Ace has lost out. And the first is going down the inside though. They go 3 wide, it's turn 2 and 3. That's the racing point driver going really far wide. Saviaka, Ace has overtaken Russell again. Great move for Ace up into P3, but there is VSC. VSC. Oh, what a start that was.
Absolutely. I was almost just tempted to just absolutely shout, because when I saw that free wide almost happening in turn 1 with Ace going around the outside on Wine, if that happened, who was that? I think that was Sarkaya, the reserve, in 6th. I'm not too sure if he's a reserve, but he had an amazing start. Same with Emerald Russell. He was also at the back of them as there, but Sarkaya did lose a lot of positions for that inside move. There were 3 wide, and he went for that wide line and just went a little bit too wide. But both one AlphaTauri in the lead though, and Oldwine in second. So Oldwine is technically in net P1 because it's a reserve, but the reserves still get points, so he'll be gunning for that win though. But if we go green light on the race, then we can get more into the action. But
a lot of drivers in. A lot of drivers in the pits.
Oh, they're starting to go for it. It's the medium guys as well, Tom. Right, we'll have to watch them, but we'll see how the safety car restart goes. We've got Russell right on the back of the championship leader Ace. It looks like he's burning a lot of his overtake to get the move done, but is he going to get down into turn 2? I'm thinking it is very close there, but he's way too far. But what if the guys in the pits done? They've done an undercut on hards. They're going to have to now do another strategy, but some of the guys have picked on the softs, the medium guys have. They've stuck on the soft rather than actually just starting on them in general, so what are they going to do now? But it looks like Russell, though, on Ace, just before the double left-hander.
He's done it. Russell ahead of the championship leader, fantastic. Him off the line. Ace, down in 4th place at the minute, he's going to be desperate to get that place back, and you see Russell now in the back of Oldwine. The gap is nearly a second out in front for Hyperlin at the minute. Oldwine in 2nd place in drivers is going to be chasing down all the way, but you see Russell just gaining and gaining and gaining the McLaren driver on the Williams of Oldwine. So there is more drivers in the pits. It's bizarre. The medium runners have pit for softs, usually in a penalty's been picked up, plan of speed into the pit lane. But yeah, like you were saying before, a lot of drivers have chosen who were on the mediums, gone the softs, which is, I'm not sure quite why, Delta.
Absolutely, it's very, very odd. But then again, they might know something that we don't. But I can tell you one thing: the one thing that I'm noticing that's so strong with Russell is his straight line speed, almost like 100, almost 200 on the straight. He's gonna go for it round the outside on the driver, but he's still there on the inside. Is he gonna get the move down on the outside line? He's getting squeezed a little bit. They're gonna do it. They're gonna still go south side on the left hander. Is he gonna be able to do it? Is he gonna outbrake Oldwine? They're still going, but he's got the move done. He's got the move done on Oldwine, and now he's catching up to Hyper.
What a move for Russell. Oh my word, they stuck it side by side for so long there. And that was fantastic from Russell, just sticking it inside of his front nose, just literally all the way through. Oldwine having to give him space and just back off a tiny bit there. What a move, and the reserve of Russell is up in 2nd place. Fantastic for him. And he's just at the fastest lap of the race, but under DRS now, like you picked up on it, his straight line speed, will that give him a fantastic advantage? When DRS is like when he's within DRS range, we saw how much he gained on Oldwine, and I think Oldwine with that DRS is now going to be coming straight back at him. Does he on the inside? Of course he does. Oldwine down the inside, late for him, and there's contact, bit of wheel bashing between Russell and Oldwine. I think Russell's still ahead, but now with the DRS from the Williams, he's going to be straight back at Russell here.
Oh, he's going to do him.
Between the two of them, he's going to try and do what Russell did to him, trying to stick it down the inside.
Switchback, no.
With the switchback. Oh my word, what a switchback that is for the McLaren
driver.
And
he's got it.
Oldwine coming straight back at him though, and he's got the switchback done. Fantastic for Russell, great defence.
Get this man a seat. Like, what is that? He's catching up to Hyperloon, even when he's not got DRS either. So for Russell to defend, even with just no DRS, but that straight line speed 100% is one of the main factors about it, because, well, we just saw Oldwine had the DRS and he still struggled to get past, but we're stuck on the telemetry just to see. Russell does have not that much DRS compared to Oldwine though. He's got 40, so what Russell's now going to need to do is, now that he knows that it's 6 times, he can maybe close the wing down a little bit and just save some of the ERS that he needs, because, well, Oldwine doesn't look like he's sending it here, but he might get him on the DRS. Same with Ace, same with Sarakaya, because he's not that far back, but we'll see what happens. But Hyper, 1.1 second gap, but I don't think Oldwine's going to get Russell done in this lap, I don't think. But it does look like Hyper starts to lose a lot of time. Then again, he is on 80% ERS, so I think he's just going to be saving his ERS until he knows that they really are a threat. Like, so they will catch up. This is good. This is good strategy from Hyper. Don't burn too much ERS, because, well, you don't want to push too hard. You want to focus just keeping the consistent times, getting the fastest lap, just knowing that the gap's still extending. But yeah, it is coming to DRS range though.
Yep, that's what I was about to say. Russell now is in DRS range, and with that straight line speed, it's going to be only a matter of time until you'd assume he gets past Hyperlin, who has a lot more ERS though to play with, and I'd be surprised if he actually burns too much of it fighting Russell here, because Russell there, you can just see he burns a lot of the ERS in the opening 6 laps here. Is he predicting early pit stop to regain some of that, or is he just gonna? He's gonna have to be careful here because he's been pushing and pushing on those soft tyres. If he's gonna do soft medium, he's gonna really, he's got to make his softs last. It's what we saw. You know, you have to make the softs last if you're gonna do the soft medium to about lap 16, 17, even 18. If you want to do it, you know, to the right amount and not completely ruin your mediums come the end of the race.
Absolutely.
But Russell just gaining, but Old Wine just sitting behind with that ERS as well. Ace with 90%, nearly a full tank of ERS, also just sitting behind, comfortable at the minute. I think if you're Old Wine and Ace here, you are just thinking, you know, they're obviously, everyone here is experienced drivers, but I think Ace and Old Wine especially, you know, they're just like,
oh, that's a retirement.
Viro!
Right, we'll go on board with Jax. Oh, he's lost it there. He's went a little bit understeer and he just went right into the wall. He's done what Kimi Raikkonen did in his pre-season. I'm pretty sure he just lost it and he went into that wall. But it's not a safety car, surprisingly enough. I don't think. Very surprised,
yeah,
but
that was bizarre. I thought that would have been a safety car, to be honest. But the gap now is closed up massively. For Hopelin, Russell and Old Wine. You can see Old Wine straight on the back of them now and burning that ERS. So nowhere for Old Wine goes for a move here.
Oh,
he is!
It's
late! It's down the inside! Oh, here he goes, Old Wine down the inside of Russell. Russell sticking his car in there all the way, side by side still. And I think Old Wine's got the move done. He does! What a move for the Williams driver.
I did not expect that move from Old Wine there, especially that far back, but he's starting to read Russell a lot. He's starting to know when he's starting to like let off a bit. Well, you'll know about the ERS problems though that Russell's dealing with because of the blinking light at the back of the car, but this is interesting though, because we're starting to see now that Old Wine's starting to gain the time on Hyper. So was Old Wine just waiting to pounce just as he got his ERS up to a decent amount to start fighting against Hyper, who's got a lot of ERS? But to say the least, Russell is still not out of the fight though. Not too sure about how many warnings he's got, but still he's going to be under pressure off Ace though. Is going to be able to get the move done. It should be pretty straightforward. He's going for that outside line, but I do expect Russell to not go down without a fight. Looks like he's going for it side by side. Looks like he's got it. They're still going side by side, but who's going to get the DRS? It's both of them actually. So both of them are going to get the DRS, but he's got the move done. Unless Russell goes for it this time, but he doesn't.
Fantastic for Ace. Has got past Russell. I think that's important for Ace because he's going to want to stick on the back of Old Wine as much as he can. I knew he was going to do that because if I looked at the start finish, as soon as Old Wine got past, Ace was burning that ERS. So Ace's strategy here will be sticking within a DRS range of Old Wine, waiting for a mistake or for the perfect opportunity to pass him when he feels it's best to pass him, and then go for the win. It's quite clear. Hyper picked up a 3-second penalty as well. How much will penalties play a factor in this, you reckon, Delta?
Sorry, I was just looking at that, but yeah, the penalties could put a really big thing into it. If a safety car happens, not only would it ruin the people with the penalties, it would ruin the soft guys, because, well, you have the hard guys, XL Hardy and Stromy and AMS with a penalty, but them hard runners and the fresh medium runners who have just pit, they will actually be up in the top 5, because the pit lane, I'm pretty sure, if I remember looking at the sheet earlier, it was like 17 seconds or something, I'm pretty sure. And so it'll be fairly interesting to see what would happen with the penalties, but looks like Old Wine's getting much more closer with Hyper, but he's not going to be liking that all this time is going to be lost, because you see the whole top 5 actually, to say the least, they're all in a league of their own. Sarkai in the 5th place right now, so that's an amazing place for him to be in right now, but Hyper is going to have to know that he might be pushing a little bit too much if he's starting to lose this much time. But I'll stick on the telemetry just for this one lap, just so they can get a little bit of knowledge about the drivers. But Russell getting his penalty, that's a yellow flag, that's the driver retired, it's AMS.
In the pits.
Yeah.
If that was out on track, that would have been chaos. I think we would have seen a lot of people pitting for hards, but we may have seen the front runners go past. But luckily it was in the pits, AMS out of the session and retired in the pits. Russell picking up a 3-second though. He did have one warning only 2 laps ago, so he's been really pushing to stick with the likes of Ace and Old Wine, clearly, who are going to be really battling now for this race win, and that is Buena picking up a 3-second, they're down 8th at the minute. I think if Old Wine and Ace can avoid any penalties, they're looking really strong. And Luke using that ERS now. You see Old Wine, surely he's going to do what he tried to do to Russell. Go around the outside now of it. There's more yellow flags. That's a Renault. That's Geordie. It's Geordie. What's happened?
I think he's just lost under the break, and I'm not watching him now, but I think he might have just lost a little bit. But the top 4 are literally all different engines. If you've just noticed, you got Honda, Mercedes, the Renault engine, and the McLaren engine. It's all 4 different bloody engines fighting out for this P1 right now. But what a scrap though. It's an amazing scrap to say the least. Already lap 10 and these guys are pushing it just like it's going to be the final lap. But then again, look at the gap between 6th place and the rest of them. So Solo's going to not be enjoying this too much, as he's got a massive gap to the guys in front, so he's not going to be able to have access to the DRS, but the other drivers aren't, and that's just what's happening right now. But it looks like Old Wine going to send it down the inside on Hyper. Is he going to get it done? Both of the lockups, but he still has a chance though to get in the DRS. But Ace now, that Ace is going to be able to attack on that lockup both of them had. Both of them attacking and defending, but he looks like it though. Going for the outside line, but he goes for the inside line. Oh, he didn't get it. Hyper got that defensive line.
Oh, I thought Ace was going to go for it. Oh my word, this is absolute chaos, like you mentioned before. These drivers are pushing each other like it's the final few laps, and they're really pushing to the limits. You've seen with the penalties, drivers picking up, and I mean, Old Wine, he's desperate to get past, isn't he?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's getting to the point that the drivers have to know that they're starting to lose time and they're going to have to get around him. Not saying that Hyper is just a guy that's just sitting there, but they're going to have to remember he is a reserve, so you don't want to know that you've just got beaten by a reserve. So that's going to be pushing them a lot more, because this is Hyper's first race. He's in P1 right now, but it says on the strategy they're going to be pitting lap 12 or 16. Exactly what I predicted. But on the mediums though, I wouldn't say that. I'd say the hards, because they'd have to do another stop yet again. So they want to stick on the hards and then stick on the softs if a safety car. But Old Wine though, I think this might be a straightforward move though, unless Hyper wants to attack again. But good move from Old Wine though, not too bad, but not too good. Just DRS overtake, easy peasy for the Williams driver. But Ace though, he looks like he's starting to drop off a little bit. He still has enough ERS, but the top 3 actually have some pretty decent ERS, but Old Wine looked like he had to use a lot more to get past Hyper, which is good in its own sense to get past him. But it looks like Russell, did Russell lose it there?
Yep. No, he was pushed onto the grass by Sariakas, so Russell was dropped off massively off the pace from the start. I mentioned that he was probably pushing a bit too hard, but Sariakas round! Sariakas round, the RP driver, he's lost it, he's put his foot down too early and gone sailing round. That is disastrous for his race, and he's going to come out in about 8. He's going to come out behind his teammate and be in 9th. I don't know if he has any damage to the RP car, but Ace and Russell both pitting, going for the undercut. So surely now you'd go onto the hards, you reckon?
Absolutely. You can tell that. Oh, they're not. Wait, are they?
Ace onto mediums. Ace onto mediums.
I'm surprised. Their tires must be getting shot up. Surely, since they didn't do any qualifying, well, they did, but they only did 1 lap, so surely they could have lasted the tires a little bit longer. I'm not too sure about the tire wear runs here, but this is... I'm not too sure. Old Wine and Hyper are doing the right strat, but I'm not too sure. But Russell will probably be a little bit happy with Sarakawa, because it was like a little bit of karma, you could say. Shoving on the grass, but Hyper losing it there, and able to... Did you see that? He tapped on, he tapped on the brake. He tapped on the accelerator just a little bit.
Twitch of the wheel. I thought we had a famous Delta screech as Hyper went sailing around. Hyper did fantastic to save the car.
Yeah, so he saved me there. He saved me there. But
Old Wine, who's I think coming in, he is Old Wine's in response to what Ace and Russell have done. He's into the pits and Hyper following him in. So I think B Morgan on the mediums will take. He'll take the lead of this race, but there's yellow flags. There is yellow flags. Who is it?
It's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. Oh, the AlphaTauri, not the AlphaTauri, the Alfa Romeo. Fardy, he's off. He's missed his braking point. He's missed his braking point. But B Morgan into the lead though on the mediums. JML Bueno, he was one of the drivers that pit. Same with Turissimo. All of them drivers pit. So see, yeah, there's the hard tires that I was expecting. Old Wine.
Ace has done the undercut. Ace has done the undercut. Ace has done the.
Oh my God, he's actually done it. He actually got it perfect, but the hards were the way though. That's what I'm trying to say, because I've seen the top tiers that have been doing soft hards. I'm not saying that these guys are anything like the top tiers, but like you want to kind of copy that strategy, because it is this track is all about the strategy and where you come out in. But it looks like Turissimo and Bueno battling out. Sorry, Tiramisu. I'm just gonna call him Turissimo because he said any name you can call me, so I'll call him Turissimo. But yeah, the top 3, it'll be interesting to see the least on when they pit. Bueno on 13 lap soft, so he's trying for the overcut, maybe potentially the mediums, I'm not so sure. But Yeah, he's done a pretty big overcut, but we'll see when they pit. Morgan, if a safety car came out and he pit onto like hards or something, he'd still come on the lead because, well, everyone would pit. Everyone would pit into the mediums, but it's time for Bueno to pit now on lap 15 or 16, but Ace getting the fastest lap on the mediums, which I'm fairly surprised about considering there was a lot of driver on the softs that were getting like DRS and all that stuff. Very interesting.
Yep. Really interesting. I mean, Ace has done that undercut perfectly on Old Wine though, so, I mean, what is going through Ace's head right now? He's obviously going to have to make those tyres last, and he will know that Old Wine on those hards will be so much faster at the end. I mean, like you were mentioning, we've seen the guys from the top tiers of PSGL, the best PSGL have to offer, do the soft hard, and I saw it in F9 with Track Formula.
Yeah.
He did soft, with Batuka, and he gained 2 seconds in 2 laps on Track Formula. And Track Formula is a fantastic driver, don't get me wrong, but he just couldn't do anything because the hards were just in their element, because the mediums just fall off a cliff on about laps. If you pit lap 14, I'd say about lap 32 they really start to fall away. So they've got to manage their tyres, of course. They have the advantage this tier of being, no assist. So the tyre wear isn't as bad if you run assist, but Russell getting the fastest lap, they 105.6, so he's still behind Hyper. So the 2 reserves are behind the 2, front runners in the podium. Sorry, not in the podium, in the championship of Ace and Old Wine. So they're going to be absolutely delighted if it stays as it is. But you see, I thought that was actually going to be Hyper going for a move on Old Wine on those hards. So there's contact between 2 of them. I don't know if there's any damage though to Hyper's car, but he's going to go for a move here. I think he's too far back. He is too far back. No way. Oh, he's going to try and stick it around the outside.
Oh, he's not going to get it.
No, he's had to drop off. He's had to drop off. I mean, he had a right go, didn't he? But Vapor, Hyper, LN just still sticking behind. He's trying to get the time advantage for now done and dusted, so that when he gets past, if he needs another pit stop or when he's inevitably slow at the end of the race, he has that cushion of a gap to protect him from the likes of Old Wine.
Absolutely, but yeah, with the hards, they will be much more slower, as you said. They'll be much more slower, so you'll be have a bit of a disadvantage for a few laps. But then on the mediums, well, right now, if I put myself in the medium runner's heads right now, they've done their strategy now. They just need to go to the end, but they don't realise that when their tyres are going to start to die, the hards are going to start to die. So technically, the hards are just like playing the patient game. That's basically what you're playing, but it doesn't look like he's playing the patient game. He's trying to attack on Carlos, but Hyper right on the back of him, but he's going to get the move done on the hards, and I don't know how, to be quite honest. I know he's got barely any RS, but Carlos has almost quarter of a tank more, but Old Wine now into 4th. If Old Wine can get up to the front runners and be leading this race on the hard, then he's got nothing to worry about, because then there's no overtakes. He can just wait for the other drivers behind him to just die, basically. Like, their tires are just going to die. But he's very, very close to slotting himself into a podium, but he is gaining on Ace a lot, to be quite honest with you. But with the heavy braking zones, obviously they're not too heavy braking zones that you can get like really like a lot of ERS, but it still will help him though. Oh, and that's the driver!
Hyper's lost it! Wing damage though, he's still in the race. Hyper's got wing damage to the right side of his end plate, and there's more yellow flags.
There's more yellow flags.
It's Geordie. Down in 15th, he's lost it in the gravel. He goes. No, I think he's come back on. He's got massive wing damage though. He's just sent it into the wall. So Geordie's face is firmly over here. As Thick has just got past Hardy. Great move for him. Thick though, Hardy's coming straight back at him for that battle for 16th. I mean, even when they're lower down, they're still battling all the way, still side by side this battle. Fantastic into them, but looking back up to the front now. Ace, Old Wine, this is so close between the two of them, because Ace is going to be so much quicker now, but towards the end so much slower, so that's going to be mentally challenging and on track challenging as well, as there is the other flag. I think that might be Geordie into the pits for tiring perhaps, or is just going to get a new front wing?
Could go for the fastest lap and take it off Russell. No, he's not. He is not. No, that's no. No, I was literally thought he's stuck on the softs. I was watching this guy and he just disappeared. Like, what are you doing, game? But it looks like Hardy sending it down the inside on Thick. Let's see the rest of them. People are watching. Oh, he's almost giving on the rear. He's almost shoving him, and they're both wheel banging. They're actually pushing each other. They're like, give me the room. They were literally almost taking each other out there. Look at them. And already gonna go for it. They're still going with it. No space given whatsoever. Oh, don't. No. The fact. Chill. Right. Good. Right. I was gonna say, but it looks like Oldwine on terrestrial. Oldwine going wide. These are both teammates as well. They're both gonna be scrapping out. We thought the AlphaTauri's battle was infamous, but he's gonna do it on his teammate. But then again, that might have been a team order to his teammate just saying, back out. So, well, that's still good for Oldwine to be getting the move done.
Back off!
Yeah, back off. Because I don't know, I've never spoken.
is telling his teammate to back off. You can see there. I mean, Oldwine must have been doing the same thing to Tiramisu there. He's still on the ties he started on Tiramisu, so he's on the long run as Tick picks a penalty. I'm guessing that battle is still ongoing.
He's just off his wheel! No!
Who's that?
I literally got on board and my man just flipped. I go on board the Surumi.
What's happened to Panos?
Oh,
he's completely... What on?
Did a boss.
It's a VSC. I thought it was a full course safety car. I think, luckily for a lot of drivers, that is not a full course safety car, because that would have changed the strategy for sure. 16 laps to go though. Impossible to call who's going to win this race. Ace is looking strong, but Oldwine is sticking behind him for now. Oldwine has had a better VSCV start as well.
Oh, look at Hyper. With wing damage, he's got down there. Bloody, he's got wing damage and he's past Carlos. There you go. I kept struggling because I was gonna see the AlphaTauri, but I keep saying the Alfa Romeo. But yeah, Hyper. I'm just gonna call him Hyper. Hyper got the move done on Carlos with wing damage as well. So it doesn't look like he's hindering so much, but he's going for it on a double right, and he's got it. Good respect there. Giving the space, but B Morgan petting though. 19 laps on the mediums. So he can't. He keep going. If he pit and a safety car came out, that would be some insane luck. But yeah, he's sticking on the soft. But if a safety car happens between these top four, but Ace is leading though. But Ace needs to know himself, and I think everyone knows watching, me and you know, Tom, that Oldwine is gonna be an absolute bullet once he gets access. Well, he's got the access to the DRS, but once the medium starts to drop off and Ace starts to push it a bit too much, the tower is sure as heck gonna drop off for the Renault driver. So this is all on Ace. No pressure with Russell though. He's sitting in P3 though, but that penalty could hinder him. But we'll stick on the penalties. So free for the 4th and 5th. So it's not too big of a deal for Russell just yet, unless he starts to lose time. But Russell's getting DRS as well with the drivers in his front, so it's going to be a DRS train. Oh, and there's and that's thick.
That's on track. That's on track.
Oh, don't. Oh my god.
VSC.
The VSCs are honest. Oh, and they all broke. They literally all broke. But Tiramisu, he's going for the pit lane. Same with Hyper and Carlos.
Hyper's in as well for a new front wing. That would be. So that's coming for the right time for him. All on the soft. Where's Tiramisu going to come out?
It's a B version, I would say. Safety car. That's literally what he always shows. But this time it's not. It's always virtual safety cars. Like, come on. But then again, that wouldn't be good for Ace or Oldwine, because, well, Oldwine, if a safety car came out, a full core safety car, he's going to have to lose track position. Meanwhile, the drivers in the front, like behind, soft, and then obviously I don't think J Malpana's going to do any big of a deal, sitting in P13 on the soft. But still, though, that would be a big threat for them, but drive-throughs can still happen, ladies and gentlemen. So, lap 22 out of 36, so we've still got tons more action to go, but there still is time for a full core safety car to happen, but I wouldn't want it to happen, because this first and second battle, and also Russell, but Panda gets the drive for it, and I genuinely thought that I said one of them. I genuinely
thought that was, I genuinely thought that was one of the guys battling for victory, but Russell had a fantastic safety car restart on Oldwine. So if Russell battles Oldwine here, this will do Ace the world of good, first of all, but what will that do for Oldwine's mentality? But he's losing a bit of time through turns 9 and 10 there, but with that DRS straight away, you'd expect. I mean, Russell's car is a bullet in a straight line, but he's picked up another 3 seconds. He's turned in too early at turn 1 there, so he's cut too much to the curb, and it's really silly penalty for Russell to pick up.
The gap is still good though. It's 9.8. It just needs to be 6. So, well, think about it this way, Tom. His Soul is on 10 lap old mediums, 9.8. He's got no access to DRS. He's got no ERS. The only threat would be Tiramisu in 5th.
Yep.
Oh,
But,
the old
yeah,
one
yeah.
and Ace. They're gonna start battling it, but he's not. They're not. The pressure is gonna start to get to Ace, so he's gonna be a bit more of an aggressive defender because he knows that once old one gets past him, nothing's gonna be able to happen unless a safety car happens. That's the only way I can see Ace winning this, unless he just wants to defend and defend and defend after lap. But then if he defends an old one, he's gonna have to defend off Russell. Could we see a reserve for the very first time this season on a podium, or even potentially a win? But ERS will come into play though. Ace is going to be very, 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 very vulnerable after turn 1, so we'll see. Not that good of an exit though for Old Wine, but he's not snatching the ERS too much. He's not wanting to flick it right and left, losing more time. But Turismisu getting the fastest lap 105.3, so that's an extra point. But it looks like Ace defending the inside line there, also the outside as well, so sticking his car in the middle of the line. Very good strategy, but he will be left open. This is Old Wine's favourite place to overtake, but he's got a good run through, wanting the outside move, but he's not going to get it though. Ace is just doing bits right now for defending, but this isn't going to be good because once these guys start to drop, yeah, Efrel Soul is now lost 2 seconds of time. Tiramisu is still got tons more time to gain.
Yeah,
oh, and that's a safety car. That's a pit lane. Yeah, that's a pit lane. That is a pit lane. I think he might bend it in the pit lane. So yeah, that's unfortunate for him if he retires, but he could go for the fastest lap. He's staying in the race, which is good to see. We've still got 14 people, but I think what's helping Ace more is straight line speed in his exits on the turn 1 and 2 and 3. But then again, Old Wine's got barely any ERS, so that will hinder him to the guys in front. But looks like he's got the run now, but he doesn't want to go for it just yet because now he's going to get the. Yeah, smart. Get a good exit, go wide a little bit, avoid that into the curb. Get the good exit. He should have this, but he's got 8%. Ace, if you're listening to me, mate, please just save your ass.
The LR commentator and the LR driver in cohesion here.
Absolutely.
Old Wine is given him no rest at all though, and Russell as well, just sticking onto the pair of them, just happy to gain the DRS on them and just observe this momentous battle. This means more than just the race win. Is he going? He's on so down here, so one move. There was no gap there, and he's done it. How on earth? As Tiramisu threaded, and he's up 13 places. The man is just driving an excellent race. But Russell's gaining. He's got the ERS. He's going
for the outside line. No.
He's going to do a switchback.
Oh, he's got the exit. He's got the exit.
Here we go.
This is what's happening. Old Wine's ERS is blinking like Christmas at the back of it. And that's him into P2. Can a reserve win this race? And if it does, it is insanity. It can't be. But he's got a bad exit though. Losing the rear though, but he's still going to get a better exit though. But Old Wine though, this is like I said, you got to save your rest. Let the tyres just do their natural pace, lap after lap. Because he might think he's losing it right now. But the mediums are still destined to lose it near around lap 31 or lap 32. That's why you call it a last lap decision. Because the mediums are going to be dead. And they're going to be just slowly trying to stop the car from almost sliding, but then Old Wine could just go full push on them. So it will be one to call for, but Ace, just save your ass. That's good. 43, that's good. Obviously we cannot be biased, but obviously I'd want Ace to win though. But then again, what team are you on for it? The non-biased, obviously
no one dare. No one dare for me. But Russell is driving an excellent race here, the reserve. We saw Stroh last week, who was a reserve, now a full-time driver, of course. Deservedly, I'd say. But Old Wine's had a really poor exit, in fact. No way, Ace attacks him here. No way, Ace attacks him here. No way. Down the inside he goes. Down the inside goes Russell. Here we go. For the race lead. He's got it done.
And he's done it.
Oh my word! Russell's in the lead, but watch Ace now. Ace, is he going to go for it? I think he's too far back, surely. Surely Ace is too far back. He is indeed. But what does this mean for Ace?
Bump, right, big bump at the back of the car right there. Ace exploring every little piece of Russell's rear end to see where the hell he's getting the straight line speed from. Didn't even burn any overtake, and he's just beamed past him. Like, obviously, yeah, Ace didn't have any DRS to use, but like, still, 201. What?
I want this out for Russell.
Yeah, absolutely. 1-1 wins. It's like the ride height, like 1-1 as well. Like 2-1 for the ride height. Like, what's going on? I'm with Sarome. Oh, that's not this little scrap. Oh, never mind. Wait, Stroll. I know, they're blinking like Christmas, the Friars. But we'll check with the top 3. They're starting to gap actually each other. Both half a tenth separating each other. Half a tenth to Russell, half a tenth to Old Wine. So they're basically like still on DRS, but oh, I thought that was one of them there. It's Hardy.
I thought it was one of them as well. Hardy picking up a 3-second, down in 14th at the minute.
He's the first lapped driver.
Oh, that's not a nice title for Hardy, but I'm sure he can set fastest lap, or he'll be back next week as well, I'm sure. But Ace attacking Russell here, but Old Wayne, crucially, I think those mediums will become slower than the hards in just a few laps' time. I can already see raining on Ace's tyre, so Old Wayne knows that
jeez, going wide. But he got a penalty for that. He went super wide. He was waving over at the grandstands just saying, thank you for tuning into this race, and he's talking to the viewers as well. Thank you for watching the race, but what a launch from Sarome, and he's round! He hasn't got him down. Well, now he does. He couldn't stop car.
Dear.
Couldn't stop car.
Oh dear. Sarome, don't get disqualified.
Oh, because... Wait. Where's the P1 and 2? Okay, no, I was gonna say if they could have got DRS off that, but alright, okay. But I don't see anything happening right now because this DRS train bleeding Russell's straight line speed. Well, it's not in the 200s yet, but like when he gets out to DRS, it's like 202. Like,
I mean, if he gets a podium, this will be an interesting interview with him. What wings were you running, Russell?
Absolutely.
So doing the 1-1 round Austria. I mean, that's definitely... I mean, I think what's a major controversy is what happened in qualifying, though, with Russell getting that slip.
Oh yeah, he might get a penalty. Oh, I don't want to say that because as a reserve, this first race here this season, he's on a podium and he's got a he's got 6 seconds as well.
Jack's got a podium though, so he may still get it, of course, but it's going to be really close. It may come down to penalties or. You know, after the race, I mean, Sarome's now been lapped, so...
did he get... Oh, he almost got the DRS off that Ferrari, but Sarome, he wants to be in the top 5... No, never mind. Just backed off, right?
Is Ace going to attack him? No, wait, Ace is so far back.
He's
still going to go for it. LR Ace, down the inside, which Old Wine, oh my word, he's going to go for it now more than ever.
Go on, bungee jumping.
Down the inside of Ace, it's going to be so close.
Oh, this is going to be a free wide. No, they're all trying to send it.
Look out for Russell. Old Wine still on the outside. Ace defending fantastically on the outside. Still on the outside, still side by side. Look at Russell as well. Russell coming across and Old Wine having to back out. What a battle it is.
Oh, he's got
such a great exit, Old Wine. He's got such a good exit. Ace still ahead though.
Oh no, I can see where this is going to happen. You can see Ace is right now. He's like, no. Well, this is fantastic for Russell, but then again, none of them are rounds, so like... Wait, where's Turismo? He's there. Yeah, that's good. I don't know. Lap 32 now. Sorry, lap 31. I thought it was the finish line right there, but I just looked at the map there. I'm gonna do it. But yeah, lap 31. All of them are on the same ERS because they can't overtake each other. But what this is good for Turismo is that, well, if they're struggling to overtake each other, as we know, because obviously the mediums are starting to die, you can look at the tire treads and look at the front of Ace. Just around that locking up, you see the front right and the rears. But I would say Old Wine's going for a move, but he still doesn't have enough ERS. Oh, and Russell moved on the braking. They're going side by side. Do a double.
All right, through.
Oh, if he did a double, that would have been mad. But he didn't get it. But he got Ace. So.
This is unbelievable. This is seriously unbelievable. Ace has got that grain in. Look at the tyres. They must be going off. I thought they got back lap 32. But at 31, he's struggling.
Oh, look at Russell's though. They're worse. Look at the front right now.
Look at that. I mean, he's been pushing and pushing. But the ride heights have just perhaps just ruined his tyres.
He is absolutely shredded. Not him, the tyres, but like, bro, look at it. Absolutely shredded the tyres, obviously. All that battle. It's all that battling as well. But Old Wine though, going for it. He's gonna go bungee jumping down the inside. Is he gonna get it landed? He's still there though. But who's gonna get the DRS? Oh, it's Russell time. and this is Oldwin's corner as well. Turn 3 is his best attactive and defensive. I know attactive isn't a word, but we're going to use it here. But yeah, he's good at attacking and defending at that corner, so he knows where to stick it. But this is going to be good for Ace, because technically he's getting held up by a guy that's got a penalty, and that's not what you want. You want to get past the guy with the penalty, then get past P1. But then again, Ace cannot complain about this. He's in the podium yet again. But Termister, though, he's going to have to start burning more yards, because he's not as close as he needs to be. But I don't know. Can he get himself into a podium position? Even if that qualifying, that might just be a qualifying, but I'm not too sure. But Russell, though, losing the rear, looks like Ace is going to go for it on the inside line. Sarumi get the fastest lap. Well done to him. And he's got it.
He's done it.
But he doesn't want to go deep. But he's got the worst exit, though. Sending a move down there leaves you vulnerable, though. So
Look at Ace
is going to be fuming, though, because he's leaving a gap for Oldwine to just get, because they're going to be shoving themselves on the attack. Oh, he almost just missed his break point there. But Ace, he can just have to push it, though. But Russell can just slowly go in the throttle, because he'll still get access. But you can see the Fryer driver warming up his tires, going right, left, saying hello to the stream. See him in the background, for some reason on the stream, wagging it right and left rapidly there. Doing it again. I really don't want him to spin when he's on stream watching, because I'm looking right behind Russell right now. You can see him, he's wagging it right and left. And Russell, he's lost it! He's in the crash!
Oh! He's lost it! He's lost it! No!
Oh,
no,
it can't be!
I don't believe it.
Oh,
I don't believe it.
That can't be. Oh, no. No.
Tiramisu will get a podium from.
Oh, and he's fuming! He's in the pit lane. He's got full blast in the pit lane. Don't get a 5 second. Right, good boy. Right, good. But I don't think he's going to retire. No, he retires. It can't be. Oh, 3 laps to go, and he's lost it on the grass. He got that exact same snap he did in the qualifying and at the race when we said, oh, he's almost lost it on turn 4. But he couldn't save that time. He did a Bottas. But, oh, that is so unfortunate, man, because now that he's a reserve, he's going to get outside the top 10. He's going to get no points. He's not going to get a podium. Oh, that is just... See, that's the upsets and the positives for some people in PSGL F7. You've just got to be dedicated. So just... If you're there, Russell, just come back strong. Because you can tell that Russell is a front runner. Pace-wise. Not even just because of the pit that he did. Just genuinely. He was holding back Ace and Oldwine. They're like the front runners of the championship right now. So it's unfortunate for Russell. It's unfortunate for Russell not to be able to cross the line, but still, it's good to see though that he is there. So maybe there might be something, maybe him potentially getting a seat in like a Haas, because the Haas driver has not turned up in weeks. But then again, that's up to the coordinators. But what a race though! Lap 35 out of 36, and I don't know if Ace is gonna be able to get to Oldwine, because
I don't think he is.
Oh, so still a second place is great. Interesting, although he's got that penalty, so he's gonna get. Wait. How much of a second penalty is it? 3.
Yeah,
B Morgan could get it. B Morgan could get a B Morgan could get a podium, but then if Oldwine gets another one, and then. But I swear, if he gets a puncher, I'm gonna be so upset for Ace. Because he did say that when they go soft medium, they have like a likeliness near the end to get a puncture.
Yeah.
And well, Ace has been absolutely pushing it. Then again, he's been pushing it lap after lap, burning it, locking up, doing everything. And there's Sarumi in the background saying hello. Okay, and I feel like that's gonna be a trend that every time he gets lapped, he's just gonna be saying hello. But Jim will panic get the fastest lap, so that's gonna be a point. So Sarumi's gonna have to stop wagging around and get the fastest lap back. Do you see him? Do you see him?
Oh dear, it's the final lap of the race though. This is now where it all counts. I think...
I can't take it serious. I can't take it serious.
He's done the soft hard perfectly here. You mentioned before the race, the soft hard perhaps is the more optimal strategy just towards the end. I mean, if Ace gets a look at the front, look at the front right. Look at the front right of Ace's car though. That tyre is gone. Tyre is completely gone.
Absolutely.
He's gonna get a podium, you'd hope. But Oldwine looking so strong for the race win. He's drove fantastically, but Ace has not made it easy at all. You had Russell also in the mix. So unfortunate for him. He was fantastic today, and he fully deserves a C in this, I think, because he proved what he can do today.
Oh, here we
But
go.
it is going to be Old Wine with another win, and Ace picking up another podium, not a penalty, and Saromi there dancing his way across the line. Who will get it? Will be Tiramisu after going 17th. He's done it, and the Williams driver P1 and P3 for the Williams team, up 14 places during the race. Easily my driver of the day, Tiramisu. Fantastic for him.
Absolutely, absolutely. But you can only feel bad for the drivers that were there at the front and then they've just lost it. But to say the least, though, congratulations to Oldman. Obviously, I knew, like, I did actually just say the strategy, like, way before the race, soft tards, because, well, we saw that with Ace. Ace started to lose it so much compared to the hard runners, so it was literally just due to the tires as well. Just the depletion, if that's the word. The tires were just dying after lap, so Ace did what he could, but he's still going to be leading this championship, I'm pretty sure. I'm not too sure to the least, but though, amazing finish for him though. And there's the driver of the day, Tiramisu. I'd have to agree on that, so the game won't be lying about that for once. It is 100% him that gets the driver of the day. Well done to him.
Fantastic.
It's a double Williams podium. It's a double Williams podium yet again. If I'm pretty sure the Williams have stayed so consistent. We thought it was going to be the AlphaTaurs, we thought it was going to be the Renaults, but it looks like Ace is going to be having to carry the Drivers' Championship, and potentially, if he wants to add the extra one, he's going to have a conversation with his teammate after the race saying, right, we need to get practice and help you, because Jordy, I know he is a quick driver. He is a very quick driver when he puts his head down, but he's getting involved in these little mistakes that do not help him. But here we go with the final race results. I will do the top 10 and then you can do the rest. So we have SKR Old Wine winning the race from second to first. Not that good, but it's still amazing though. That is him taking away the gold for the Austrian Grand Prix. Then we have LRS, yeah, again, getting himself on the podium. Very consistent for him, getting second place. Then Turissimo from 17th to P3 on the podium. Absolutely splendid stuff for him. Then B Morgan into 4th, Bueno into 5th, Sarakaya into 6th, Sol into 7th, Hyper into 8th, Carlos into 9th, Stroll into 10th, and then you can take away the rest, Tom.
Panda in 11th with the fastest lap with a 104.4. Buniam, Savomi, Hardy, and then DNFs of Russell was so strong. After qualifying 4th, it didn't happen in the end for him. Really disappointing for the McLaren driver. So impressive though, thick. Also, and I think it was Geordie and a few others DNFing, but hopefully next week they'll come back very strong. But congratulations to Old Wine, Ace, and Tiramisu. Fantastic for them today.
Absolutely. All this does for me and you is just make it that there's more of a talking point. Who wants it more in this race? Who wants to be taking away the gold? Who wants to be on that podium? Russell, he was the closest there. He was on the podium and he just made a little mistake. But we can try to get the drivers in, because obviously it's a double Williams yet again. So I'll try add them overall an amazing race to commentate over. But so at least there's still tons more runs to go in the championship, so we'll just be waiting on. Well, we've got one driver in the commentary box, but we just got to wait for the others. But if both the Williams can join, then that'd be absolutely amazing to get their thoughts on. But then if they don't, then we'll just do Ace. I can't remember. Did one of the Williams get a podium last week as well?
I don't know.
I think it was the AlphaTauris that were close. I cannot remember. I have to look back on that. But we'll just wait on to his teammate, and then if his teammate can join. And if not,
Hello,
we'll just.
good night.
Hello. Right, we'll just I'm just gonna be doing the interviews in a quick minute. I'm just waiting on your teammate to see if he joins, but if he does, then that's great. Wait, who actually was that? Alright, okay, I'll ask you. Yeah, I'll ask you. Run us through how your race and your qualifying felt. Obviously, your qualifying was wet, and then the race turned into a very interesting strategy call. So, run us through how you felt in your qualifying race.
To start off with my quali, I'm very weak in the rain. I only got a 12-0. I was hoping it was gonna dry out, and it did. We had one run with the softs, and the game is dumb. I changed to softs on the garage. I press X to drive out, and it asks me to change to winters again. Since I was in a hurry, I clicked twice on X, and it changed me back to winters. So I started in P17, as you saw, because I didn't put a lap in the softs, and everyone else did. I went into the medium soft strategy. It was the best one to start off outside of the top 10. There was a bit of carnage in the first lap. 5 people pitted, and one guy pitted in the next one as well. A few guys spinning, 1 or 2. And then the virtual safety car in lap 21 came out when I was entering the pits. It was perfectly timed. It couldn't have been better. And I pitted and I jumped Morgan by 5 seconds. I was 1 second behind outside of DRS. I had 3 seconds, he had nothing. And I knew that the McLaren in the top 3, I don't know who it was, because he spun and DNF'd after that. He had 6 seconds, and I thought I could get into his range. Honestly, I don't know if I could make it, because my softs died a bit in the last part of the race, but he spun, so made things easier. I had 5 warnings at the end of the race, almost penalized in the last corner, but I got to the end with 3 seconds only, and ended on the podium again.
Absolutely. You and your teammate have had, well, to the least, you guys are in second and third in the standings. I don't know if that'll change. I think Ace still holds the championship lead, but obviously, is there any other team orders between your team? Because, well, I think you were close to doing a move on your teammate. I can't remember what your teammate's name is. I'm not so sure, even though I just saw the results. But Hold one, yeah, that's it. What was it with the communication when you both were battling? Did you just let off, or well, do you guys race in parties with each other? Or is there like no communication whatsoever?
No, there's no communication.
So it's just the gloves are off between you two. There's no team orders like, oh, let me pass them quicker than you. It's just whoever is the quickest, just get past them then. Guessing that's what it's like.
Yeah, it was on a different strategy, and I just let them go. I let Ace go, I let Old Wine go. Didn't fight any of them a lot. I think once again, I don't remember his name. The other McLaren.
His name was Russell. Yeah, Russell. Yes. He qualified pole for 1-3, but it was really quick lap. I think he got a little bit of slipstream, but I don't know if it matters now considering he DNF'd. But yeah, he was. You and him were very wide apart. He started to bomb off because also you had no access to DRS, but he did every single time on Ace and Old Wine. So we can never know if you would have caught up him in time. You would have been here in the commentary box talking about your podium, but. So at least though, you can't complain how you get the podium. You get it. That's all you can say. I think the Williams are now leading the constructors by a pretty big margin, because that's yet again another great finish for you guys. So on to round 4. I'm pretty sure it is. It is going to be the Belgian Grand Prix. How do you feel around there? Do you feel like we could potentially see you battling against your teammate in Ace to go for that win?
Well, I definitely hope so. It's Spa, it's a really familiar track. I've driven it a lot of times. So let's see. I really hope so. I really hope I can get with them and have no lucky stuff happening to me in quali or stuff like Bahrain where I got spun around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely. You've done a very good comeback drive from 17th and then having a little bit of an incident and then coming back into a podium. So you pitting during that first safety car, I think it was, helped you a lot. But congratulations on that. Have you got any questions from Tom?
No questions, but just let him know that you were both mine and Delta's drive of the day, and it was a fantastic drive from 17th on the grid through the podium for you.
Well done.
Thank you.
But we're gonna go to the man, the myth, the legend, LR Ace. No bias involved. But Ace, are you here?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on getting another consistent finish in round 3. Would you like to run us through how you felt just through the rainy quali and then the dry race? Run us through how you felt about that.
Just at the quali.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was a wet quali, and I was P3, I think, when it was wet, and after it was drying, and I put the soft like everyone to make a lap. I said, oh, it's one lap quali, one shot quali, and just no invalidate, and I make my time in the third.
Yeah, absolutely. What were your thoughts on that reserve driver Russell? He came out from nowhere this race and was putting the fight to you on old wine. Were you a little bit skeptical about, like, basically meaning, were you a little bit worried about if well, obviously the race result came in and it was old wine that came on top, but do you feel like you were expecting a reserve like that to just hop in and already be fighting you and old wine for that win?
Yeah, he's really fast. At the end of the race, I let him by because he has 6 seconds, and I have to protect
Tires.
of the Williams. I don't remember his name.
Old wine.
Sorry. Yeah, and I let him by to protect, and the Williams put me in the pressure, and I'm obliged to make a move on Russell, and he don't leave me space, and I
Yeah, I
have
noticed
to leave,
that.
and he passed me, and I think I lose the race win here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
It's very upsetting to see that obviously the win kind of got taken off you. Obviously, we did commentate you through all of the laps, all 36 laps, I'm pretty sure it was. So we did see that you were in contention yet again. There's a lot of people in this division that are all in contention of getting podiums and wins. But on to that race now. Overall, amazing race to the least. Well done on your consistent finishing into the top 5s and podiums. But let's talk about the Belgian Grand Prix for round 4. How do you feel there? Do you feel like, well, we've seen that it rains here, so we could expect a bunch of more rainy tracks happening for the following races. But the Belgian Grand Prix, what are you thinking over there?
the Belgian Grand Prix is my favorite track. I love to drive in Spa, and I will try to get another podium and maybe a win.
That's great to hear. That's great to hear.
Push it off.
That's great to hear. But obviously, it's good to hear that there's a lot of people wanting this win because obviously it's F7. It's one of the quickest tiers. It's not the quickest, but it's one of the quickest tiers in PSGL. So obviously it's gonna be very interesting. But yeah, you've been finishing consistently, so you are no doubt about that you're going to be leading this championship by much more. But there will be a lot of pressure though if the Williams keep closing it up. But obviously it looks like the constructors, you're not too worried about. But obviously that'd be another great trophy to just earn on your collection. But Tom, have you got any questions for the driver before we call it a wrap?
Yeah, actually just one. So, what did you ever think about doing the soft medium, the soft hard, or was it always in your head a soft medium?
I did an undercut, and that's work, and yeah, I finished with 75%, I think, and yeah, maybe soft hard was the best strategy here. He won, so yeah, maybe the best strategy.
Yeah,
See.
that's what we were talking about here. But it was a fantastic race. You gave us non-stop entertainment. You, Old Wine, and Russell, that entire thing, and another podium. You are just picking up these podiums. So we hope to see you again in the commentary box next week round Spa, and I'm sure we will, in fact, because you are one of the quickest drivers in this tier for sure.
I hope. Thanks.
Absolutely, but I think it's going to be a wrap for us. So everyone watching, thank you for racing. This has been Premier Sim Gaming League. It's been me, LR Delta, and LR Tom, and LR Ace in the commentary box for this race.
Not LR Tom.
No, I said LR Ace and Tom.
Oh.
Right, but thank you though everyone for watching, and we will see you for round 4. Make sure to watch it because it's going to be me and Tom, but make sure to tune in for next week as we're at the Belgian Grand Prix for round 4. Goodbye.